Top 10 richest countries in the world. Number 10. San Marino. The number 10 on this list is a place that many people have never heard of. San Marino is a European enclaved micronation, completely surrounded by Italy, and because of its very small population of only 33,000 people, and because of its very small landmass, there is hardly any room for heavy industry in San Marino. Its economy is based upon services such as banking and tourism. With an average income of about $59,000 per person per year, the people of San Marino are among the richest on the planet. Number 9. Switzerland. Just like the number 10 on the list, Switzerland has an average income of $59,000 per person per year. Switzerland is not a micronation. It has a population of over 8 million, and its economy is within the top 20 of the world. How did the Swiss become so rich? First of all, their very strategic location between some of the traditional European superpowers like Germany, France and Italy. On top of that, Switzerland has proven to be practically impossible to invade by possible enemies. And that, combined with the world-famous Swiss neutrality, made the Nazis to decide that they had no interest in invading Switzerland. Switzerland was not destroyed and looted by invaders for more than a century and a half now, and during all those years, Switzerland has built one of the strongest and stable economies in the world. Number 8. The United Arab Emirates. Until a few decades ago, cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi were just desert towns, but in the 1990s, Emirate rulers came to the idea that at some point in time, the oil production in their country would come to an end. And their vision was to prepare for that and to transform the United Arab Emirates into the most modern country in the world, with a strong and diversified economy that could stand the test of time. And that is exactly what happened. Today, Dubai is home to the tallest building in the world, the largest shopping mall in the world, the largest aquarium in the world, etc. No wonder the average income in the United Arab Emirates is no less than $67,000 per person per year. Number 7. Ireland. A much unexpected contestant in this top 10, because Ireland has been one of the weakest economies of Europe for centuries, but in the 1980s, the Irish economy opened up for foreign investors by lowering corporate taxes. And the result was that Intel, Microsoft and Google, they opened huge headquarters in and around Dublin. At the same time, the services industry and especially the banking sector showed an unprecedented growth. This was known as the Celtic Tiger period. Although Ireland was heavily hit by the crisis in finance and real estate that started in 2007, the Irish people are still among the richest in the world, with an average income of $69,000 per person per year. Number 6. Norway. Just like the number 10, 9 and 7, this is again a European country in the top 10 of richest countries in the world. So that's 4 out of 5 so far. Just like in Ireland, the average income in Norway is about $69,000 per person per year. How did Norway become so extremely rich? Well, one of the reasons can be found in the amazing natural resources of Norway. Norway has a large supply of oil and natural gas, and that helped Norway to build one of the richest pension funds in the world. With assets worth close to $900 billion, the Norwegians don't have to worry about their financial future. So, we're entering the top 5 of the list of richest countries in the world, and we still don't know the position of the United States of America. The number 5 is Kuwait. The people of Kuwait enjoy an average income of $71,000 per person per year. And this impressive wealth, of course, finds its causes in the huge oil supply of Kuwait. Now in Kuwait, when it comes to wealth, there is a rather large inequality between individuals. Most of the money and the other assets are owned by a relatively small portion of the population. But then again, this phenomenon is seen more and more all over the world, including in the United States of America. Number 4. Brunei. Brunei is a small nation with a population of just over 400,000, located on the island of Borneo, completely surrounded by the South China Sea and Malaysia. It has very rich petroleum and natural gas resources, which explains its solid position in this top 10. The average income in Brunei is no less than $76,000 per person per year. And now comes the top 3 in this top 10 list of richest nations in the world. The United States of America surely must be in the top 3 of richest nations in the world. Number 3. Singapore. Singapore is home to a population of 5.6 million people, and it's located between Malaysia and Indonesia. It has just a very small landmass and virtually no natural resources. Instead, Singapore rapidly developed its services industry after World War II, and especially after 1965, when Singapore became an independent nation. And Singapore has one of the largest seaports and one of the largest airports in the world. It is one of the most important trade, financial and logistic hubs of Asia. The economical growth of Malaysia and Indonesia will only make Singapore more important in the next few decades. With an average income of $87,000 per person per year, Singapore is the number 3 in this top 10. Number 2. Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a small nation that is located between Germany, France and Belgium. It is home to a population of only 600,000. In the 19th and the first half of the 20th century, Luxembourg developed its economy mainly by means of the steel industry. But after the European steel industry collapsed in the 1970s, Luxembourg turned the tables and chose to pursue the position of a global financial hub. And Luxembourg succeeded in that very well. To diversify more, Luxembourg is now developing its knowledge institutes and it's participating in space travel programs. The average income of Luxembourg is a staggering $104,000 per person per year. Drum roll, the number 1. The number 1 in this list of the 10 richest countries on earth is Qatar. To make a long story short, it's the oil and the natural gas. Qatar has the 3rd largest supply of it in the entire world. Amazing that so much wealth is stored in such a small country, somewhere on a small peninsula next to